Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another HD broadcast, and today we are going to be looking at a Protoss versus Terran. Yep, that's right, I think I've been doing too many mirror matchups lately, so I've got to go back to the quintessential matchup of Starcraft 2, and that is of course the mighty warriors from Ire duking it out against the Confederate forces here in the Koprulu sector, and of course that is Protoss versus Terran. Now our Protoss player today is going to be Shew, one of the more capable Protoss players. I believe he is 1700 plus on ladder, and I've spectated a couple of his games before in-house. So a very capable player controlling the blue Protoss forces here at the 12, or excuse me, the 6. And his opponent is going to be ReachtheSky. He is going to be controlling the orange Terran forces, and ReachtheSky is a prominent member in the Starcraft 2 community. Very capable Terran player, and I think we're going to be in store for a good old TVP bash 'em, duke 'em, rough 'em, smash 'em Starcraft 2 matchup here on Metalopolis. Now look at this. ReachtheSky is opening up with a proxy barracks at the center of the map. So we are going to be seeing an early aggressive opening in this game. And I love it when players, you know, go for this kind of cheesy build and throw up barracks because, I mean, I hate to receive the cheese, but I love watching the cheese because it's interesting to see how Shew is going to be able to defend this, if he can defend it at all. And of course, this typically throws off that standard practice build that all players love to practice on the ladder and, you know, refine and tune it to the best detail possible. Now they're going to have to think on the fly. They have to basically come up with the maneuvers to deal with the opponent's aggression. And of course, the aggressor has to think of how he's going to play this out because no cheese is alike any other cheese, just like no StarCraft 2 matchup is alike any other StarCraft 2 battle. So here we go. ReachtheSky, he's going to be pleased to find out that his opponent is just a few heartbeats away from his proxy barracks, and we do have a tech lab going down, so it could be Reapers coming out. And of course, Shew now finds the enemy Terran. He doesn't see any buildings whatsoever, so he knows there's something fishy going on. Is he going to be able to get out a Zealot? Early on, it looks like the Zealot just coming out right now, but Shew needs a Stalker so badly to deal with the first Reaper. Reapers are dangerously good, staggeringly good against Zealots and Probes, and if ReachtheSky doesn't get a Stalker out, he's trying to get that Cybernetics core down. If he doesn't get a Stalker, he could be in a lot of trouble to this early aggression. Now keep in mind, ReachtheSky is only at a measly 18 Harvesters, so he's really cut a lot of his income to go with this aggressive build. I think he went for an 8 or 9 rack, so he doesn't have that much income. He has to make up for it by killing as many probes as possible. We also have a bunker going up, so Shew is going to have to divide his attention, force to use his civilian workers to push the Reaper away, but he has to kill off this bunker. If the bunker goes up, that will be lights out for our Protoss player, and it looks like his probes kill off the SCV. So good play from Shew. Superb micro from both these players as ReachtheSky is desperately keeping that Reaper alive. Has only taken 5 damage thus far, and now here comes the Marauder. We even have concussive shells on the way. Oh my goodness, and the concussive shells just finishes right there. Those grenades are just attack the hamstrings of the Zealots, really slowing them down, and superb micro once again from ReachtheSky, keeping all of his forces alive. Is he going to be able to get the Marauder away from the Zealot? Yes, he does. Right now, Shew in a lot of trouble. He is not looking too good. There's 3 aggressive infantry troops inside his base, and this orange Terran player doesn't care who he kills. He can kill civilians for all he cares. In fact, he wants to kill the civilian probes, and he's focusing them down right now, but he still needs to make up for that gap massively. 12 or 20 over 12. Looks like the probes blocking off the Marauder. Good play right there to keep the Stalker alive, but that last concussive shell finishes it off. And now the probes, angry at losing their Stalker, surrounding the Marauder and pretty much electrify that Marauder to death. Shew, although he's actually been doing quite good. He's lost a lot of his forces, but he hasn't lost that many Harvesters. You guys can see, still 21 over 13. ReachtheSky really needs to focus down on the workers, but every time he does that, the workers' buddies just kind of call for help, and they all just push out and scare the Marauder away. So very good play. Looks like a Reaper here working the probes in the back, collecting the gas, but the Reaper is finally going to fall. And now Shew, I think, is finally starting to establish some semblance of control in this chaotic land of the Protoss home world. Is he going to be able to get these Marauders away? He's pulling probes once again. Going to try to block the Marauders' escape route, but no. The Marauders make it down the ramp. So far, good play from both these players. I really like what ReachtheSky is doing right here, being aggressive, but superb micro from both players isn't going to win them the game. They still need to macro up. And you guys can see that Shew is keeping on top of his harvesters, still pumping probes. We have SCVs coming out from the command center. That income gap pretty much even now. And the Marauders are coming up. There are 3, focusing down the Zealots. Gonna kill off this Zealot. Great play. 1 Marauder very close to death, and the probes from Shew gonna take that down. So good play from Shew, as well as good play from ReachtheSky. And I think it's still hard to tell who's ahead in this game. Shew is teching up. He's getting a robotics facility. But here we go. 3 Marauders once again. I'm surprised that Shew doesn't have a sentry to block off his ramp. I think sentries would be very, very good right now defensively to keep these Marauders outside of the base. We now have warp gates down. Observer coming out from the robotics facility. ReachtheSky here isn't going to be able to be aggressive any longer, and now he's actually teching up. He's getting a Ghost Academy, he's getting Mobius Reactor. I like this. All too often in Terran versus Protoss, Terran players just don't get their tech up and they don't get Ghosts, and it still puzzles me. I still scratch my head to this day as to why Terran players don't get Ghost Academy. Ghosts with EMP are so critical against Protoss balls. They drain the energy, they drain the shields. They're so good in Terran versus Protoss, and all too often Terran players don't get enough Ghosts. But here we go. Now Shew's gonna finally push out, so he has map control. He feels like he has enough forces. He's actually gonna pick off this proxy barracks, finally killing off the source of his stress. And is going to be able to pick that off. So now he's going to be able to breathe a sigh of relief as he kills off that barracks, kills off the tech lab as well. And he also gets an observer into the enemy Terran main. So I don't know. I don't know if ReachtheSky has done enough damage as much as he wanted to. Although the income is relatively even, I think he really wanted to try to end the game with that early aggressive push. And he hasn't killed as much harvesters as he would have liked to. So now he's forced into a defensive position. Shew spots the Ghost Academy, so he knows it's coming. But he's forced into a defensive position, throwing up a bunker. And I think right now Shew really does have map control. I'm actually surprised that Shew isn't pushing out to control the map. He should really kind of chill out here outside the Terran main. He has an observer. He sees all the forces. I don't know why Shew's chilling in the back of his base. He could really push out right now and gain some territorial control. But he's choosing not to. Gonna stay inside the base for now. Still teching up, getting forces. Income showing both players dead even on 24. And we actually have cloaking now coming out from the Ghost Academy. So, ReachtheSky getting cloak. Not very... usually when Terran players play against Protoss, they will get Ghost and they'll get the Mobius Reactor so they can EMP more often. But cloak puzzles me just a little bit. Maybe we're gonna see some nuclear warfare? Who knows? Shew here still has the observer chilling outside of ReachtheSky's base, or inside ReachtheSky's base. And excuse me, my phone is going berserk. Yes, I know I need to change the ringtone. It is a dog barking. It's husky barking at me. So here we are on about 10 minutes and 50 seconds in the game. It looks like the aggression has pretty much died down now. And both players now playing very passively, just macroing up. We actually have Shew getting a robotic support base. So Shew wants to try to get Colossus out, and I think he's just waiting. He's just biding his time until his Colossus come out, and then he's going to push out. Because he knows what he's up against. He knows that there's Marauders, he knows there's Marines and Ghosts, and, you know, Colossus are just so good against Bioball units. It's just one laser slash, shoom, and then, you know, it cuts the Marines in half. So very, very powerful unit. And in response, ReachtheSky is getting a starport. Gonna swap that with the factory with the reactor, and I think he's gonna get either Vikings or dropships. Vikings against Colossi, dropships to fortify his 3M. All good options for the Terran player at this moment in the game. Surprisingly, still not spotting that observer. It's just kind of chilling there. Here's a trick if you're a Terran player and you think there's an observer. If you zoom in, you can see that little distortion of the vision, and that will tell you that indeed there is an observer there. It's a little trick you can use if you're Terran. But unfortunately, ReachtheSky doesn't see that. He's pushing out with his factory now. Kind of a useless building at this point in the game. Going to try to spot what Shew is building. And oh, what do we have on the production tab? We do have a nuclear missile being produced. So ReachtheSky now is going to keep the aggression coming. He's going to keep the surprises. His box of gifts never ends. He's such a gracious and generous person here. Going to be getting a nuclear missile, and he's going to go tactical nuclear warfare. He is bringing out, I would say, I don't want to say the ultimate weapon of war, because that title belongs to the battlecruiser. I would say the nuclear missile is the ultimate weapon of fear. Really causes the opponent to just kind of scramble his forces, try to find that red dot. It's kind of like Where's Waldo, but even more difficult. And so, I don't know, is Shew going to be prepared for this? He is still chilling inside his base. He's not being aggressive at all. He's getting his second Colossi out, I don't know if this nuke is gonna work though against Protoss. Nukes are so good in TVT. In TVP, they can be a little bit more difficult. Now, how many observers are on the map? Shew only has one observer, and it is following the main army. So ReachtheSky really needs to be careful here. He needs to scan the observer and snipe it down, take it out, or else his ghost is going to get spotted. Now, the nuke is ready. ReachtheSky being aggressive, finally pushing out. Is Shew going to be able to hold on? He knows that the forces are just outside his front door. Here it comes, the tactical cyborg infantry unit gonna move in. Is he gonna nuke? He has the factory in position to spot the high ground above. Gonna start getting some pot shots off. He doesn't want to reveal his ghost is there, however. The observer is back here. So, Shew here could get his main mineral line nuked right now. Is he gonna nuke? No, ReachtheSky decides to fall back, uncloaks, just in time before the observer could spot it. So, no, here we go. He's gonna walk in once again. Is he gonna drop the nuclear missile? We have another Nexus coming up, and there we go. Nuclear launch has been detected, and ReachtheSky, is he gonna get the observer in time? No, he scans and picks off the observer. ReachtheSky kills off the observer, and now he's gonna stim up and pick off all the Colossus. An EMP landing down, draining all the energy, and the nuclear missile falls. Nuclear fallout, the fallout radiation even burning and roasting the ghost down there below the lamppost, and Shew, realizing he has lost everything, his entire economy just got ransacked, is gonna GG out of this game. What an incredible maneuver from ReachtheSky, starting with his aggressive barracks and then going for this nuclear missile. He just moved it in there, dropped the nuke down, and I really like how he scanned and picked off that observer before the observer could scurry over and catch the ghost. So the nuke was landing no matter what, and Shew lost all of his workers. So great play from ReachtheSky. Incredible game. I have a couple more ReachtheSky games that I'll probably be casting in the near future. But just want to thank you guys all for tuning in, and I want to thank the players for showcasing such a great game today on Metalopolis, and hopefully you guys enjoyed that broadcast. So if you guys like what you see, make sure to tell your friends, subscribe, and stay tuned for more commentaries. HD, gonna be signing out.